This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. And this week, because it's the spookiest time of the year, and I'm not just talking about tax time, Mason.
Let me tell you this, James.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was at home, had the TV on, I was watching YouTube. I went away to load the dishwasher or something, not to brag.
Yeah.
But the video I was watching finished, and then it autoplayed to a Mr. Sunday Movies video, and you go, it's because it's the spookiest time of year, and I'm not just talking about tax time. And I went, I've got to do my tax return. So
We've got a few emails about people who are like, it's tax time.
So
you know?
it worked. Your stupid joke that you never stopped doing came in handy.
Well, this is the
'Cause if I
last
hadn't done
time.
it, other's I'd be doing it right because it's the 31st. So
Yeah.
I'd be doing it right now, like in the middle of the podcast. So
It's a good point.
Yeah.
So it's too late for Australians who are listening to this.
if you're
if they
listening to
haven't
this
done it
now, surprise everyone. Now you've got to go to a tax professional. You've got to go through all the bloody hurdy-gurdy.
yet. Yep. The hoopily doopalies.
You're probably going to get audited.
That's right.
Yeah, for your crimes.
Yeah. Well, that's spooky too.
You gotta claim. You gotta claim all your crypto. You gotta.
Nah, you just shuffle it around a bit,
Just shuffle
mate.
around. Yeah.
Don't even
Nice.
worry about it.
Nice. Buy those NFTs.
You got to.
Get some of those
We're going to
NFTs.
talk about some NFTs today, aren't we, Mason?
I just wanted to look. Here's my before we get.
Should I just do what we're talking about today?
Okay, great.
And then we'll
Right.
get. Okay, so there's
And then
time.
I'll tell people what I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with.
You're obsessed with it at the moment. You
Obsessed
cannot
with-
literally
not in the
stop it.
normal way where I'm obsessed with a thing, where I say that I'm obsessed with a thing, but I'm actually just not listening.
Yeah.
I'm actually obsessed with it.
Okay, good. We're going to talk about some Dune news. We're going to talk
Dune
about
news?
Spider-Man news. We're going to
Spider-Man
talk
news?
about some Batgirl news.
Oh.
Army of the Dead 2 news. We've got trailers for Cowboy, Bebop, and Lightyear. There's a new Marvel production game in the works. We're going to talk about how Eternals is the least well-received Marvel movie we've ever had as of so far. And then, because we're in the Hallow-Scream Spooktacular Shocktober, the 30 worst brackets no cowards episode. We're
The
going
turdy worst. Is
Good.
there
I'm
time
going to change
it?
that.
You
I'm
should
going to change that.
it to turdy worst.
Yeah. Oh, is a turd scary?
No, I mean,
You wouldn't want one on
depends
you.
where you encounter one. I
I
think.
guess. A Hallow-Scream Spooktacular Shock.
Like if you're in the supermarket and all the lights went out, and then
Yeah.
like a shelf collapsed and it was just all turds. You'd
Just
be like,
all turds.
oh, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Or one big turd, he push
Yeah.
it over. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, Shocktober, the turdy worst. No cowards.
cowards,
It's good. I
please.
like it. And then we're going to talk about both Halloween kills, and then we've got some little Halloween recommendations,
Yeah.
which might be too late for some people by the time they're reading it.
No, but
listening to
as
this.
I understand it, a lot of people
Mm.
participate in Spooktember, which is you celebrate Halloween
Yeah.
from like the start of September to like the end of November.
Oh, great.
So
Terrific.
you've still got plenty
And
of
then
time.
you can watch movies anytime. Anyway, you want to talk about NFTs, Mason. There's time codes below, but you want to talk about NFTs.
Just briefly, because I watched. You didn't watch this week's episode of
Not
Hot
yet,
Ones,
no.
the YouTube interview show with hot questions and even hotter wings. As you're aware, they eat the wings, the hot wings, and then they answer the
Yep.
questions. I had some delightful chicken tenders today. I went to
very
Bell's Hot
good.
Chicken.
My favorite thing about Hot Ones is all the terrible spin-offs of people trying to make. It's like, we're having beers and we're shooting cans or something. Well, I'm thinking of that Alec Baldwin thing. I think that's why I went there.
Yeah.
But, it's always like, we're patting puppies and we're kicking footballs or whatever,
Nice.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
I'd like to do mild ones. Just like
Just tepid questions.
you just get a warm chicken tender with a ranch
Oh, yeah?
sauce on it, and then I ask you how your day's been.
They're like, yes,
I don't have any follow-up questions. But anyway, this week we got Mila Kunis on.
Yep.
From many things that I
That
enjoy.
70s show.
Forgetting Sarah
Friends
Marshall.
with Benefits, all the other
The
one.
Bad Moms movies. But I've
Bad
seen her in
Moms.
many things that I've enjoyed, many movies and TV shows, presumably all of which paid her enough money that she doesn't have to do the thing she is currently doing,
Yeah.
which is that she's providing a voice and she's doing promotion for what seems to be a Flash-based web cartoon.
What was it called again? 100 Cats? or something?
Stoner Cats.
Stoner. That's
Called-
funny. That's funny.
I'm saying it
Mason.
in the same tone of voice that Charles Dance would say Ghost News.
Ghost.
Stoner Cats.
Ghost.
Which has been funded by NFTs.
I'm just watching the trailer.
Pretty good, right?
Bad looking show.
And in order to watch it, James, you have to purchase a token, a non-fungible token, And I looked up the prices. In order to do so, James, there are various prices, but the cheapest option is you have to pay 0.6 Ethereum.
Yep.
Which currently is $2,500 US.
Perfect.
So you can contribute to and watch a Flash animated web cartoon
This
called
looks
Stoner Cats.
terrible.
But it's got the voice of Mila Kunis.
Yeah, but it looks terrible.
But here's the thing: what I love about it, and why I'm obsessed with it, is because like everything NFT, it's not anything, but they've added a value.
Seth
thing.
MacFarlane's in it. Chris Rock is in it.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda's in it.
How much money do you think they're getting? Because I've not seen
find
it.
out.
I reckon Mila
I'm
Kunis.
gonna
I reckon
buy
Mila
this.
Kunis is getting $500,000. You're gonna buy it?
I'm going to try. Status sold out.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you can't even pay $2,500 for it. But here's the thing. It fascinates me because they're like, I've seen some like promotional images for this, and it's like, the thing about this, the way it's different from a regular cartoon is actually you get to decide where the story goes.
No, I
Like,
don't
who
want that. I
cares?
don't want
But
that.
who cares?
Yeah.
It's not like you get to decide the direction the MCU takes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Stoner Cats.
are the Stoner Cats going to be in space, or are they going to be on an ocean liner? It's just going to be jokes about bongs. What are you...
Also,
What
looking
are
at
you
it, it
doing?
looks worse than South Park. And South Park is supposed to look bad, but it looks worse than that. Like
Yeah.
less effort.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good at all. Anyway, I can't wait to...
Watch it on YouTube?
no. Just
Take
if
it
you,
off.
If you do want to watch this, which you don't,
No, I don't.
you should torrent it.
It's-
That's what I would do.
It just
I mean,
seems-
I'm not going to.
But
because
it seems like it's just a Kickstarter, but it
Yeah.
costs you $2,500, and all you get to do is watch the thing.
but decide what the Stoner Cats do.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. What if they're in the jungle?
I mean, it's not their natural environment. They're
Yeah.
cats, but they're not jungle cats.
Yeah.
I can see the
So
humor.
the
in
background
that.
would be green instead of like just
grey.
grey.
It's mostly grey blocks
Yeah,
from the short clip
pretty
that I
good,
just
right?
witnessed.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Anyway, it's just a weird. I'm just fascinated by it. Just the concept of it.
I'm a big fan. Mason, we have big fans, right? Or
Yeah.
listeners. Fans
Yeah.
is weird.
I don't like saying fans.
Because that implies that anybody approves of this. But anyway, you might remember a few years ago that we won the Popular Podcast Awards in Australia for the Weekly Planet.
we brute forced it.
Yes.
And just had the most number of listeners.
Yeah,
who were
and that we
willing to
did.
vote for
And
us.
we did. They didn't give us any nominations or anybody at Planet Broadcasting at the time. So I went, okay, I'm going to ruin this. And I'm going to win this thing.
Yeah.
And we did somehow.
It's a bit of, we got a big bit of glass. It's
Yeah.
very nice. You can't. It doesn't photograph well.
Yeah.
because it's clear and it's got.
Yeah, you can't, but we
People's
got it,
Choice
and
Award
it's
on it.
somewhere.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
do have it. Anyway, I want to do it again.
That'll be a murder weapon one day. It'll be evidence in a murder trial. This bloodied podcast award, they'll say. The prosecutor will say in court, and everybody will be like, there'll be murmurs, and if you listen real hard, most of the murmurs will be, "What's a podcast again?"
There's awards for that?
It's like a radio show, but for ugly people. People too ugly for radio. What it is.
So my other podcast, less successful, the Suggestible.
Yes.
If you want to vote for this, it'd be much appreciated. If you go to australianpodcastawards.com/vote. And look, I just want to win it again.
Yep.
Just because we didn't get nominated for anything again.
Yeah, right.
And you also have to pay money to be nominated. And every time Claire goes to put it in, I'm like, don't, because you're going to have to make me try and brute force this thing again and make
Yeah.
people do it.
And then she just stares you down, and you just see her move her hand over the mouse, and she goes, click. She's like, what are you going to do?
We didn't get nominated, so look, I want to win this again.
Okay, great. Terrific.
But we can't win it for the Weekly Planet because we
No.
already won it.
Yeah.
You could, if you could, obviously you don't have to. Suggestible. I'll link below if you do it. Check it
So
out.
with that, this has to be a write-in. People have to
Yeah.
write it in.
Oh, it's not. It's a vote, and it's a drop down thing, and you type
it's
in
in there,
Suggestible,
okay.
and
Right,
then
right,
it's
okay.
automatically in there.
Okay, right.
So
Do you
yeah.
think they
and
can-
you need your name and your email address?
Can
and,
you rule out that
Yeah.
they will disqualify it because you're also on it?
No, I don't. It's a different podcast.
Okay, great.
Look, I don't think.
Do you think after this, do you think after you win this,
Yeah.
I'm including myself in this,
Yeah.
after we win this, do you think they'll put up the little sign with your picture on it and be like, do not allow this man to be
Interesting.
nominated for
Okay,
any more awards?
if we win this one,
Yes.
maybe next year we'll do one episode of something else
Yeah,
and then
nice.
win it again.
Okay,
I just want to ruin this thing.
yeah.
Is that so wrong?
Okay, next, if we win this, we will do a one-off podcast called James, Meso, and Claire skew the results of the Australian Podcast Awards yet again. That's what the podcast. We do one episode and then we win it again, and then we see what happens. But we can't do it without you, folks.
We need your help.
Okay, folks, we're not looking at this win
Yeah.
for now. This is an
We're looking
investment
for
in
the
the
future. Think of it as the middle portion of a Halloween franchise.
Just filler.
Just fill it to
A
get to
waste
the next.
of everyone's time. and we just thought of it now.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
we're like, we could have done that, but we're wasting
we could have
people's
jumped to
time.
the thing, but we're doing this thing.
We just want more accolades.
That's right, exactly.
People saying, why are you doing this?
That's right. Anyway, first bit of news. I'm calling this. How's Dune doing? How do you think
Has
it is?
Dune.
Yeah. So it's approaching 200.
There's really only one way to say the word doing, though.
But you get it, right?
Yeah, I get it. It's a fun little play on words. No, it's not.
We're approaching.
It's a fun little way to mispronounce a word. It's just what we do here.
That's my favorite joke.
Has Dune done?
Has Dune. It's approaching $230 million worldwide.
A drunk man sidles up to you in a bar and goes, has Dune done?
Seems all right, I guess. It's kind of a high concept sci-fi situation, I guess. Anyway, which is good. It's doing well because a sequel has been green lit.
Yes.
It's set for release. You're not going to believe this, Mason, at the spookiest time of the year. And I'm not just talking about tax time, October of 2023.
That's not far at all.
It's not far at
2
all,
years.
Mason. That's right. It's also, I feel like they must have already set a lot of this in motion because it's 2 years. He must have already written it and there must be a bunch of concept art and
I think you'll find
design.
Frank Herbert wrote it already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Frank Herbert. Anyway, I just wanted to...
Do you also want to apologize to Brian Herbert?
should I?
Yes.
Is he not listening to this?
He's probably not listening. Yeah.
Speaking of, though...
The script is just like it's the original book, and they've just scratched out like all the boring stuff.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the books, this is from EW where they spoke to Denis Villeneuve, who said, I've always envisioned 3 movies. It's not that I want to do a franchise.
Just the idea of them. I've always envisioned
Just
3
imagine
movies.
3. Doesn't have, just any.
I'm just imagining 3 men and a baby, 3
Yep.
men and a little lady, and presumably
Some kind of Zac Efron
a
reboot.
hypothetical third reboot version. Yeah, that's all I envision. But they won't let me do it, so I just do high concept sci-fi forever.
You got to. It's not that I want to do a franchise, but this is Dune, and Dune is a huge story. And in order to honor
Dune is
it-
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. I think you would need at least 3 movies. That would be the dream, to follow Paul Atreides, and his full arc would be nice. And he said Herbert wrote 6 books, and the more he was writing, the more it was getting psychedelic. So I don't know how some of them could be adapted. One thing at a time. If I ever have a chance to do Dune Part 2 and then Dune Messiah, I'm blessed. Hashtag blessed, he said.
Okay. But
Yeah.
really, but they haven't. He hasn't finished Dune 1 yet.
No,
So maybe it'll be 4 movies.
maybe.
Or maybe it'll be another movie covering Dune.
But what he's saying is like past 3,
Yeah.
it's like it's too weird and out there for him.
Oh, I see what you're
that
saying.
It's unadaptable. It is something that is adaptable, Mason. My fantastic Halloween costume.
Terrific.
What do you think?
What is your son there?
He's a gold Power Ranger. Maybe I'll put this on my Insta. But I went as Peter B. Parker.
You'll have to blur out his Power Ranger face
Yeah,
so
that's
people
right.
don't recognize the mask.
Yes. I went as Peter B. Parker. And look, yes, I do have the Spider-Man No Way Home Spider-Man t-shirt. I apologize. I
Wow.
couldn't get the one from the movie. It turns out that if you wear 2 odd shoes, 2 downsides. 1, I think I fucked one of my knees from walking
sure.
around
Yep.
lopsided. And 2, it's a costume you have to explain.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. People are like, did you lose
What
one of your
is
shoes
this?
on the walk and
I'm
then
like,
find another shoe?
I had a photo ready. I'm like, no, it's this one. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Because, see, to the uninitiated, which
Yeah.
is most parents, I imagine, who are giving away
It looks
candy.
weird, no
it
effort,
looks
drunk.
like you are simply a bedraggled man who has put on a Spider-Man t-shirt
Yes.
and then like just a whatever jacket on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And which is essentially what I did.
But did you encounter any true fans?
No.
Was anybody like, "We
literally
get it"?
nobody.
Wow.
Nobody.
Huh.
But that's a price you pay when you yourself are a true fan.
That's
and
very
you're
true,
only
yeah.
true fan in the neighborhood, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
You should have the previous day. You should have put a copy of Enter the Spider-Verse into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Both.
You should have put Enter/Into the Spider-Verse in everybody's letterbox.
Yeah.
Should have burned them a VCD, put them all in there, and then they could have watched it. When you showed up at their house, they'd be like, "Oh, I get it.
yeah, that's
this is
good.
center of mind right now."
Yeah. Thanks for the.
And just a gif of you dancing, maybe in the outfit.
Speaking of Spider-Man, though, Tom Holland lied. He said, I honestly don't know if I'll return, he told Empire. It's the first time since I got cast as Spider-Man that I don't have a contract. Oh, don't leave me outside. He might not have a contract.
I'll never work again. Oh no!
Not going to do a Mind Snake sequel?
You might do the Mind Snake sequel.
Yeah, maybe.
Still snaking.
Still snaking. If he doesn't have a contract, which I think he does
Yes.
by now, they'll lock that down. I think they still have to do Spider-Man versus Venom. They have to do Craven's Last Hunt. They don't have to do any of these things. I think he's has to do an Avengers movie. They're going to have to introduce Miles Morales.
Yeah.
There's at least those stories you have to cover.
Tom Holland has to age up enough that conceivably he could have a junior Spider-Man sidekick. And
Exactly.
It wouldn't be weird. You wouldn't be like, those dudes supposed to be the same age? What's going on there?
What's this? We don't like it. Speaking of, though, people have been hotly anticipating the trailer. Daniel Richtman is a great scooper on Twitter. Check him out, twitter.com/ the name I said. He says there's not going to be Spider-Man trailer, he reckons, for a couple of weeks at least, but we are getting coming, I think, Tuesday.
Yes.
Get ready, Mason.
Oh, yes.
Right, get your pen and pad
Do you
ready.
want me to, what I can do is I can take a big swig of this lemon drink and I can spray it all over the
Oh, this is definitely
panel.
worthy of that.
Okay.
Morbius trailer this week. Michael Morbius himself. No?
I just swallowed the drink. It's fine. Michael Morbius.
Was that a result of you not being interested in Michael Morbius's movie? Or because could I have given you any news and that would have been the result?
No, you could have given me some news.
Okay.
That I would have spit taked. But not that.
You don't-
Not a new Michael Morbius trailer.
Yeah. He's a Dracula, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Dracula.
Yeah. The living Dracula.
That's right.
You excited for that one?
No.
I think I got that, didn't I? From the context
Yeah,
clues
yeah.
you gave me.
Yeah. My general air of disdain for Michael Morbius, the movie.
Deadline reporting, Mason.
Yes.
That Brendan Fraser,
No.
Dune,
Yes.
is the villain in Batgirl, the movie.
Yes, but not specifically what character he's playing.
There was rumors.
Firefly?
Rumors yeah, Firefly.
Okay, all right.
That's right. So, not the ship.
Sure.
Was that ship called Firefly? Or was
The
the
ship was called Serenity, but it was a Firefly class ship.
That makes sense. They should bring that show back. And by that, I mean, I don't think anybody thinks that anymore.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
And they sort of, I think they filled out the continuity with comic books and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's fun.
And some people have moved on and some people have not moved on.
I've moved on,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah. Have you seen, James? Have you seen? I think it's on maybe like it's either on the Firefly box set or like the Serenity box set.
Take my love.
It's a crowd singing that
Maybe?
to Joss Whedon,
Wow.
like at a Comic-Con. I think it's an Australian
Did he
Comic-Con.
ask them to do it?
Nope, they just volunteered it. It's
Wow.
really bad.
And what did Joss Whedon think?
He thought it was great.
Did he drink it in?
Yeah.
Was he like, I'm going to be on top forever?
Yeah, he said that.
I cheated my wife, but she doesn't know. I'm going to be on top forever, he said.
Yeah,
didn't
yeah. I'm gonna be really mean to the cast of all my future movies. I'm gonna go mad with power.
he? I would.
This has inspired me to do it. It's all your fault.
That's what I'd do.
This audience.
That's what I'd do.
yeah.
I just let it go to my head immediately.
yeah.
And then I'd be bitter for the rest of my life that I got taken down a peg. Is that what he's like? I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, what do you think about that? Firefly. Pyromaniac villain, essentially. Got a jetpack.
that's
Flies
right.
around with a what's it called?
Flamethrower.
I was going to say, what's the opposite of a fire extinguisher? But I couldn't think of the word fire extinguisher. Yeah.
A reverse fire extinguisher.
Just shoots flames into you?
Yeah.
Great. So that's cool. And he seems to be getting a lot of play at the moment.
Yeah.
And why the heck not?
That's right.
Why the heck not, Mason? So there
Isn't
you
that
go.
movie with Tom Welling?
I
I
didn't watch-
might watch because I find those two delightful. But
Those two together.
yeah, they're a team of some sort. But I don't think it's good. I don't think it doesn't look like a good movie.
Is it direct to streaming?
Probably, yeah.
They're both rich. Probably.
Hard to say.
I don't
Possible
know.
to say.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
Because so you look up somebody's net worth and it's like 4 million?
Yeah.
Question mark?
It'll be like 4 to 100 million. You're like, okay.
Anywhere in there is fine.
Yeah. And then it's just underneath. It's got coke habit? Question mark.
Anyway, you might have seen this.
Sometimes there's pride and there's a fall.
Yeah.
Or you're buying too many islands or whatever.
Well, I know Brendan Fraser. There was a very bitter divorce, and I know he lost a lot of money in that. I don't know the specifics of it, but yeah. So there you go. Army of the Dead has a title. It's called Planet
Army
of
of the Dead?
Sorry, Army of the Dead.
We're wrapping it up, folks. The ultimate piece of news. We've done it. You wouldn't see that from I don't know.
Hollywood Hot Goss.
Hollywood Hot Goss, the podcast. You wouldn't. But
You wouldn't see that from a Perez Hilton.
that's right. Perez Hilton wouldn't tell you that Army of the Dead has a title and it's Army of the Dead and it's been out for a year probably.
That was this year. Army of the Dead 2 has a title. It's called Planet of the Dead.
Okay.
So that Safecracker movie prequel came out
Army
on
of
Netflix.
Thieves.
Did you
yeah.
watch it?
Not yet.
I've heard there was middling at first, but I've heard some people who I trust who are like, it's actually pretty good.
I'll probably
Yeah,
watch it.
because he's the director as well as the star, and Joss Whedon also
The guy, the Swedish guy.
the Swedish
whatever
guy, and wherever he is,
he is. Yeah.
Deidre something?
He's some kind of Scandinavian type.
Yes. People will message us and let us know, but we know he's Irish.
Yeah.
Listen, but apparently he might be alive in the next one.
Oh, did
Because
he die in
I think he got
death?
taken by the king of the zombies
right.
or something.
Okay, right. Yeah,
But
okay.
anyway, good.
My favorite part of the trailer for Army of Thieves, is that he meets someone and they're like, "Do you want to get on this action? We got to do this. Are you going to live your life? Is anything exciting going to happen in your life? You're going to make that choice." And it's like at the start of the trailer, he's doing some sort of like international underground safe cracking competition. What more excitement do you need? Like that's not usual.
Yeah.
that's unusual.
That is
already.
unusual. So in that movie, do they look on TVs, you haven't seen it, and go, "Oh, there's zombies. Okay, that's interesting."
That is in the trailer.
Anyway, let's get on with the heist, shall we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the most exciting thing I'm going to do. Wow, that guy's life ramps up until he's kidnapped by the king of the zombies.
And then maybe he's dead, but apparently not.
Nuclear explosion, though?
Oh, yeah.
But, he could have got a jetpack
He could have got a jetpack.
like Firefly.
He could have been in a vault.
Yep.
Didn't we?
The other guy was in the vault.
The other guy, but there's could be another vault in Las Vegas, conceivably.
Conceivably?
Yeah.
I don't like to speculate.
Lead-lined bathtub. Elvis's lead-lined bathtub
Oh,
that he left
yeah.
in Las Vegas, maybe?
The one he planned to die in.
Yeah, the one he played. That's right, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's,
Ain't no neutrinos going to get me. That's what he said.
uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I married a 14-year-old. Uh-huh.
Oh,
All right, man.
yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, that's right. People go every year. Thousands of people take a pilgrimage to Elvis's lead-lined bathtub. You can't sit in it though. You're not allowed.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, he also talked about his Star Wars movie that he's making, Zack Snyder, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." And cool. I can't wait to see it, genuinely. Because, a lot of the times, filmmakers, they get forced into like a franchise and then we don't see kind of much else from them other than that, which
That's
is
true.
fine because I like that because then you get good movies, but big budget, big swings, massive fan.
Yeah.
Because especially when they go badly, my God. But also when they're good is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And at a certain point, I reckon we've gotten enough good content in any given franchise that I'll see some garbage ones. I'll
Fuck yeah.
just to pick them apart, honestly.
Definitely.
Just
Something I could never make. Like conceive of an idea better than a bad thing.
Yeah.
Trailers ahoy, Mason. Got a couple here. I've lined them up. Cowboy Bebop.
Oh no, this trailer's blocked the Suez Canal. Look out.
Oh no, Mason. What do you think of Cowboy Bebop's trailer?
Looked fun.
We speculated whether it was going to be to do with that other thing.
What?
The thing that we saw before and they're
The
fighting
little short
with the
film.
whatever.
Yeah. They're mucking about with conventions and framing and so forth. They're
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
the comic panels about. But it seems it's just regular.
It's regular.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
John Cho, very charming. Enjoy his work.
I know he was like, I'm probably a bit old for this or whatever because he's supposed to be like 26
Okay,
and he's
right.
maybe late 40s, but it really doesn't matter, it seems
true,
at all.
yeah.
He's got the looks, he's got what it takes,
Yes.
it seems.
Wide hair.
White hair is all you need. You probably need a bit of acting. I'm not going to lie. You can't just coast by on your white hair,
True. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
He's probably put in a bit of both.
It's true.
And then we had the trailer, which I was going to say break the internet and maybe a little bit, Lightyear,
Oh, right. Okay.
which is the Buzz Lightyear. It's not a prequel movie, though it sort of is. It's the movie that the Buzz Lightyear toy is inspired by.
So in the Toy Story franchise,
Yeah.
the movie Lightyear is the movie the children would be watching and then buying the Buzz Lightyear toys.
Yes.
One of which is the toy from Toy Story.
yeah.
So this Lightyear is not the Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story movies. It's a different Buzz Lightyear.
No. And which is why it's also, this version is voiced by Chris Evans.
Yes.
Did you see that tweet that went around of someone's like, where they showed a picture of him and he just looks like a dude.
Sure.
And he's like, what are they going to make him bloody gender fluid or whatever?
I didn't
It's
see
like,
that.
he looks, what do you mean? Like,
Oh, he just
first of all, who cares if they did that? But like, obviously not.
Sure.
Like if you saw a still image of that, you would know that that's probably not the direction that
Sure,
this
yeah.
movie is going.
And also, you see in the trailer, he's a regular man.
That's what I'm saying. But they posted it with a picture of him
Okay,
without like the helmet or whatever.
Okay.
So he just had hair and like his face.
Is it because he's slightly like he's got a doughy sort of, he's got a big...
Yeah, but he's got a big doughy
right?
head.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it is what it is.
It is true.
Anyway, it kind of reminded me of like Doom,
Yeah,
or like Halo and that
Yeah.
kind of vibe. But this also looks like the exact kind of movie I would have liked as a kid.
Yes.
And I feel like my son in particular, like, is going to love this.
But you won't allow him to watch it, right?
No, we don't watch movies in my house.
That's right.
We podcast.
That's
We're podcasting brood, Mason.
That's right. You allow him to watch the trailer and then get him hyped, and then you do a reaction podcast. You record a reaction podcast with him,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna make the podcast awards. We're gonna win it. We're gonna put that one out.
Why not?
Yeah.
But he, when I showed him, I actually did show him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's cool or whatever."
Has he seen all the Toy Story movies?
Maybe he saw the last one in cinemas. I know
Yeah,
that.
right, uh-huh.
He's probably seen some of the other ones. Probably I don't
Going
know.
out on his own watching Toy Story movies?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I think he's definitely seen the first one. But yeah, he's like, "Oh, cool. When are we going to see that?" And I'm like, "Mid next year." And he's like, "I don't know what that even means."
Yeah, that's right.
That concept
Is it out now though, Dad?
Yeah, I should have showed him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good stuff. We have been playing a bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy together, though, that video
yeah.
game, which has been a bit fun.
Okay, but is it more fun without him?
No, it's good. It's cool. Yeah.
Long pause there, James.
No, I was just thinking about it. I'm like, no, it's fun.
Okay,
Because,
great.
he likes the little conversations and he's like, when do we get to the fighting? When are we going to start fighting? I'm like,
So what about in the game, son? You said.
That's what I say to him.
That's right.
Amy Hennig, you familiar with her?
Yes.
She's Uncharted.
She's
Worked on-
Uncharted.
She's Uncharted. She's
Wow.
gone. They don't know where she is. That's the bit of no. She worked on the Uncharted franchise. I think 1 to 3.
Okay.
Anyway, she was also doing a Star Wars game, which was like a third-person narrative-driven thing, which was cancelled.
Okay.
Now she's over at Skydance New Media, which is a new game production company. And
Skydance
she's-
is Tom Cruise?
Yes, but this is the.
Does he own Skydance?
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows what he owns?
But it's always in front of the Mission Impossibles, isn't
Let
it?
me figure out his net worth.
Yes. Do you think it's $1 billion?
It could be. It'd be at
Yeah.
least half a million. It'd be at least half
At least
a million.
$500,000. 500,000 to $1 billion.
Half a billion, right? Do you reckon? He'd have to.
I reckon I'm gonna say $700 million.
Let's check.
Okay, let's check.
Tom Cruise net worth 600 million
Ooh, I went over.
estimate.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
That's true, I don't know. And they don't know
And
either.
they don't know.
I don't know.
You might be
Maybe
right.
I am right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's working on a narrative-driven blockbuster action-adventure game featuring a completely original story and take on the Marvel universe.
Whoa.
So we know that they're working on a Wolverine at the moment. They're probably
How are we
doing
saying that?
a Wolverine.
Okay.
What did I say?
I don't know.
A Wolverine?
I don't know what it was, but it went all the way through my brain and out the other side. And I'm like, whoa, that felt unpleasant. How about you said that?
I said Wolverine.
Okay.
And
Hey, it's me, Wolverine.
it makes more sense that he'd
I
be,
got the powers of a wolf
it makes more sense he'd be a wolf,
and a
right?
submarine.
Wow.
Yeah, two sets of powers.
Anyway, so they're doing the Wolverine. They're doing another Spider-Man, presumably.
Yep.
They're probably doing another thing. Or they just did Guardians. And so we don't know what this is, though.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for, though? What would you like? I've got mine already. I
Okay.
say this having an answer for me,
Right.
but what do you think? Serenity?
No.
Is it time to bring back the Serenity franchise?
As a Marvel property?
yeah.
No.
Okay. I think it's 20th Century Fox. Let me just check in on that.
Okay, you just check in on that.
Let me just do this. Let me put on my little glasses.
Could you check if Tom Cruise owns Skydance?
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Man, I mean, so it's probably not. It's not going to be a Spider-Man. You would think, unless it's going to be another Spider-Man. Maybe they're just going to knock one out.
Yeah, I don't think it would be.
So if it's Amy Hennig,
yeah.
So it will be it might be in the style of an Uncharted.
Firefly's over at Fox now. I'm just going to check in on Skydance. Excuse me. Yep, go on.
But Fox, it'll be that property would be owned by Disney now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I would have thought like maybe a lower tier, like a more grounded character, like your Hawkeye or something like
Yes.
that, or a Captain America. Maybe.
I mean, because they did that in the Avengers.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think this is what I want. I would want Daredevil,
Okay, yeah, great.
but you could also do it open world ish,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Arkham, probably a bit smaller than Arkham.
Yeah.
and then you could do like alleyways and
Yeah.
when you go underground and stuff.
And he could have detective vision.
I completely agree. I'm just checking. Tom Cruise, he's been associated with a lot
Daredevil
of.
also has the powers of a submarine.
So Tom Cruise has worked with Skydance a number of times, and some
Okay.
Mission Impossible things maybe, and Jack Reacher is Skydance, but I don't believe that he's necessarily involved.
Wow.
No, I don't think he is.
Okay.
But he's not to say he hasn't worked with them and won't work with them again.
James, nobody is saying he hasn't worked with them.
I think there's people out there thinking that. And quite frankly, I'm not here for it.
You think there's people out there who think Skydance have surreptitiously added their logo to the start of a bunch of his movies? He just doesn't know.
Would you rule out if it's a blockbuster action-adventure game, narrative-driven, like a Hulk, even? Because you want a big, smashy world.
Yeah, that's true. Couldn't rule. I mean, obviously my thinking, because this producer's worked on Uncharted, more of a two-fisted action thing. But who's to say it? It might be huge. It might be an Eternals game. Might be a. I wonder, would they do something like a Daredevil, given that character is not hot stuff right now?
But I think he will be. I think they're going to start bringing him, and also I was going to say Guardians isn't hot, but it is, isn't it?
Sure is.
It's too hot.
What else is hot though? What's become Black? No, because they're doing a Black Panther. They did Black Panther
they're doing
DLC.
that thing, yeah.
The Avengers.
I wouldn't rule out any of the Avengers though.
That's
really.
true, yeah. What else is hot stuff?
What's hot?
Captain Marvel game?
She was in that as well.
Oh, right. Howard the Duck?
Yeah, maybe. You could.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Just a classic gumshoe detective adventure.
That'd be pretty fun. Cool. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Last bit of news.
If anybody has any suggestions, email in, let us know.
Tell us.
I would love to hear.
And if you actually know, tell us.
If you actually know, tell us if you were having a chat with Amy Hennig.
Yeah. Tell her that you're not going to tell us, but then tell us.
Yeah, just say, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell those fine, handsome gentlemen at the Weekly Planet.
Award-winning,
that's right.
They
won that award that time. They forced it. They made it happen.
Yeah. They didn't think, James didn't go because he didn't think he was going to win it regardless. So he wasn't there to accept the award.
Yeah. Meso was at work.
Which I want to do again, just to be clear. I want to not go and win.
Claire was there, though.
Yeah, Claire was there to accept our award.
Yeah, she was wearing 3 tuxedos. All of our tuxedos together.
Anyways, the Eternals, which we are seeing this week. So
tomorrow, right?
That's right. Next week we're going to, by the time this goes out, around then.
Yesterday.
Next week will be our Shang-Chi / Eternals episode.
Yeah, so
we could have done it this week, but we thought spookiest time of the year.
Spookiest time of the year,
etc. Text on. Yeah.
Got that under the wire.
Yeah.
My tax return takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
Mine takes a little bit longer. Or Claire does it, for one. But because it's different streams of revenue and whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the Eternals has the lowest Rotten Tomato score of any MCU film. At the moment of recording this, it has hit 59%, which is also the first rotten score for an MCU film.
Interesting. I mean, it's certainly not the first rotten score for a Marvel film or a comic book film.
Certainly not. No, they're much lower.
Here's a question for you, James.
Yeah.
How many reviews does it have by comparison to other Marvel movies?
Well, so I at this point less, because it's mostly like your big LA critics are getting in early. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And normally the big LA critics,
Siskel and Ebert, are
one of
getting
them,
in there.
because one of them's dead. The other one,
I thought they were both dead.
No, one's alive.
Is Roger Ebert still alive?
Yes, I want to say, but I don't know which one's alive.
Right.
But normally they're like, it's spellbounding. I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. I looked the whole time.
That's right. I couldn't look away.
They wouldn't let me. I tried to go to the toilet and they punched me in the face.
They said, piss in your seat. Piss in your seat, reviewer. Do it. All you piss in your seat, even if you don't really need to go right now. You piss in your seat.
But yeah,
this is the scene where the Eternals are drowning in piss, and we want to add a 4th dimension to the movie experience. We're monsters.
We want them wet for the next patrons that come in those seats.
So anyway, I didn't enjoy the experience, really, so I gave it a rotten review. Because of the piss, mostly.
First of all, people need to bear in mind with Rotten Tomatoes, and I know most people who listen to this probably know this. They only take like a positive or a negative score.
Yes.
So a 59% could also mean like the people who are negative were just like, it was not that great, like not terrible, so that's a negative.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
And same for a positive. If you're like, it was fine, that's a positive. You can get 100 reviews that say it was fine and get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's exactly right, yeah.
So, and obviously all movies are subjective, etc. But people are also saying a big part of this is it's different.
And a lot of people are saying this is objectively bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Ebert, he was like, I'm not dead, number one. And secondly, this is objectively, like this is the first movie that is objectively bad and nobody likes it and could like it.
But I mean, he says that, but it's still on 59% positive, which is a pass. I used to get some like tests back at uni that are like 59%, and I'm like, fuck yeah. I didn't
That's
do. I didn't do anything. I shouldn't have got that. But good.
I deliberately got many things wrong in hopes that I would fail. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, I'll be very interested to see what it's like. Also, I like.
Why
how,
are they saying? Sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of a drag. The story's
Okay.
muddled. It's like there's too many people and it spans too long to kind of do any of it justice. Some
interesting.
characters are unappealing. These are just bits and pieces that I don't remember any of this properly.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, we'll find out, won't we? And we'll talk about it next week, what we think.
Some of the actors refer to themselves as the internals for the entire movie.
What?
Yeah, they just didn't edit it out.
And then when they ADR'd it, they did it again.
Yeah,
and
they
they
did it
went,
again.
what do we do then?
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't notice when they
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah, we've been on Earth for 8,000 years. We're the internals.
Excuse me?
The internals?
Yeah, that's fine, I reckon.
They're just leaving in busted takes in this movie. They're just leaving them in.
Good stuff. Mason,
Yes.
it's the spookiest time of the year in the tax time. Halloween Kills
Yes.
went to streaming and cinemas this year. It actually did very well.
Interesting.
Because, you know, they
It's Halloween
generally-
spookiest time of the year.
Spookiest time of the year.
Big, the last one did very well, I think.
Yep, that's right. I don't have many box office numbers because whatever. But did all right. I didn't like it.
I don't think it was very good. I think it's a bad movie. I think overall it's a bad movie.
I know a lot of people have said like the kills are good and whatever.
Yeah,
and that's probably
okay, yeah.
true.
They're as grisly as you would
Yeah,
expect.
but like I don't. Was that you twisting your head?
I was twisting a head, yeah. That's right. No, I was twisting I'm a little man and I was twisting a big bottle cap off a ketchup.
What are you making?
A big hot dog.
Okay.
I've got a really big hot dog. And
Are you gonna eat the whole thing?
Yeah.
Why?
And I'm gonna have a big tum afterwards.
Oh, it's not a good idea.
I'm gonna be sleeping on a little tiny little cushion that's my bed.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a big tum and I'm gonna be like me.
Do you have to jump on the sauce bottle?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a little trampoline?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun visual.
Me.
I think
I've got a little handkerchief over me as a
yeah.
blanket, yeah.
that's right. Yeah, or like a napkin or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so if what I think what this should have been, again, as somebody who's never made anything and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Correct.
This could have been a 10-minute in-between call of this and the next
A
one.
webisode.
Yeah, or something like that.
An NFT.
Great.
You don't know the plot unless you
Unless
get the NFT.
For a euro or whatever they're
Yeah.
selling things
Yeah.
for. And, you know, like they did with that Jurassic World short.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Do that, or because there's prequel elements to this of the night that Michael Myers first did his murders, and then they catch him.
Yes.
Do one of those two things.
Yeah.
Because I found the flashbacks to the 70s where Michael does his final killings or whatever, and he falls out the window and they think he's dead, then he's off. And then they're in the neighborhood looking for him. And like, there's probably 20 minutes of this movie in that.
I think that looks extremely good though.
Agreed.
I spent like at least a minute going, is this old footage?
Yeah.
Is this
Well,
old?
there must be because like Loomis is in some of it as well.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So what I think happened is,
Any spoilers? Is there anything to spoil?
yeah, I mean there is
there's some
there is.
people
But
that-
here's the thing though about this movie is that I think when they made the last one, Halloween 2018, the reboot,
Yeah.
I think they went, if this does okay, we can probably squeeze out another movie from this. We can squeeze out a story that
Like a
finishes,
big sauce
that
bottle.
finishes off, and thank you, and we'll have and because they've erased from continuity the all the other sequels,
Yeah.
we can go. We'll have a trilogy. We'll have Halloween 1978. We'll have Halloween 2018. Then we'll have Halloween Kills. I guess is the last one. But then Halloween 2018 did really, really well.
Yeah.
And they went, we've got enough story for one more movie. Let's make 2 movies.
Agreed.
And we'll do nothing for this one. And then the finish will happen in the one in a year's time. It feels to me like I had the same criticism with John Wick 3, I think, which is that the thing about John Wick 3 was John Wick ends up in exactly the same
He
position.
was on the run.
He was on the run at
Because
the
he
end.
didn't use the right coin or
Coins,
something.
yes, that's right.
Or he broke a pact in a hotel lobby or
That's
something.
the thing. But and the movie ended exactly the same way it started, where he was injured on the run.
Yep.
And then he gets his groove back, and then
Yeah.
some assorted action sequences, and at the end he's on the run again because he broke a pact or something.
Got the wrong coin.
He got the wrong coin, and I'm like, the story of this was total filler, and the only the only thing that made it, an enjoyable view is if you enjoyed the action sequences and the kills and etc.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is kind of the same.
I'd liked John Wick 3 better, quite frankly. They
Whoa.
went to the desert.
He fought those two men at the end.
There were some dogs and Halle Berry together.
That's
remember?
right. At last.
At last. we
Famously
said.
never worked with dogs.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Um,
Imagine making that promise and breaking it. How could you even live with yourself?
That's right.
Probably after Catwoman. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something to do with
that's
that.
right.
Anyway, go on.
But this movie, I feel it's not exactly the same, but I kind of feel like they went just squeeze another one out. And the problem that happens with this is that if you need to have Michael Myers at the end just viable for another movie, it requires all the other characters to act really, really dumb.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, some of that is down to the tropes of the genre, where, like, the kill, you think you've got the killer, but then you turn your back on him and he gets up again or whatever.
Yeah.
But in, like, now making a kind of horror movie like this, everybody seems so stupid in this movie. It makes everybody stupid.
And he's immortal, it seems.
Oh, sure. Okay, let's...
well, not really, but immortal. I know he becomes immortal in some of the movies. Maybe he's a demon's curse or some shit.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how far we can get without spoiling anything.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? So, a lot of the movie is like the town gets in a frenzy, and some of the people who work this frenzy up get into a real foam. A mob rule,
which is bad.
Yep.
And good.
Yes,
that's what this movie is telling us. That mob rule is bad.
Yep.
Then it's good.
But then make sure you do it properly.
Do a proper mob rule. God, get a proper mob going.
And I didn't mind that idea because some of the people who like froth up that mob, some are returning actors from the very first movie.
Yeah.
Also, just to clarify, the only ones that are canon in this timeline is 1978 and the 2018 one.
Yes.
They threw out everything in the middle.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode being the sister of Michael Myers. None of that is relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Anything
unless they reveal that at the end of
Yeah, but like why?
But also, what's interesting about that is that we get Anthony Michael Hall in this, who I like. I think he's delightful.
Who Paul Rudd played in a previous.
You think they get Paul Rudd?
I think they went to him, but he was doing Ghostbusters or something.
That's a mistake. Or is it at this point?
Which one's a mistake?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
We haven't seen Ghostbusters.
We haven't seen Ghostbusters yet. But in the sense that they got rid of the old continuity, at a certain point, Anthony Michael Hall goes like, "This Michael Myers, he's been terrorizing this town for 40 years. No, he hasn't. In the previous continuity, he was terrorizing this town for 40 years. But in this continuity, he killed a few people in 1978 and they put him in an asylum for 40 years.
And he didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything for 40 years. And now he's back and he's... you've got an odd definition of terrorizing a town, I think. You know?
But they end up chasing like another guy who's like a homeless vagrant.
Yeah, well, he's also escaped from an institution.
But he's like, and so there is this like mob mentality is bad, except until it's not. It's kind of, idea, which I don't think is a bad idea. You know what I mean? And it, again, returning characters and people who had been affected by Michael Myers or people who like he'd come across them directly or kill people that he knew.
Yeah.
And I liked how they worked that in. And then they coupled that with flashbacks, which again, one of the cops was Jim Cummings, who I want to talk about in another movie later.
Yes.
which was a bit of fun. But it just, let's do spoilers.
Okay, I'm going to say worst movie ever.
Yeah,
Not an app,
but you should watch it. I think you should watch it.
I mean, if you see it for free, don't go to the
if
movies.
you can get it. Yeah,
it's on. I'm going to bring back our rating of don't risk your life.
That's probably.
And by that I mean don't go out on Halloween night.
Very good. So.
Because an auditor will get you from the IRS.
There's a moment. Well, there's a few.
What are you claiming? You can't claim your regular clothes as a work uniform. You can't do it.
So
it's against the law.
That Judy Greer gets his mask. And she goes, and Laurie Strode's sort of in this, but she's badly injured, so she can't really go.
She's not in this movie, really.
But I think that's good,
she's
though.
She's bedbound.
Because she was fairly injured in the last one.
That's true.
So I don't mind that.
And this takes place immediately after
which
the
the same
one
way.
It's still this one is still taking place in 2018.
Yeah, and like it's the night off, so he gets out, he kills a bunch of firefighters and whatever.
Which I think is in the trailer.
Yes. And so he's on the loose again, and it turns out that his motivations...
Are we doing spoilers now? We are.
Yeah.
We're in spoilers, folks.
Turns out his motivations, and we thought it was like tied to Laurie Strode because that was one of his first attempted victims, but he just wanted to look out that window that he likes.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that idea of like, he's not tied to any one person, he doesn't have any vendettas, he's just He's just mindless. He's kind of like Doomsday. He just goes towards a thing and he'll kill anybody that's in his way.
Yeah.
But off the back of the last movie, he was shot, I think, in the side of the head.
He got some of his fingers.
Yeah,
off?
lost some fingers. He got stabbed quite a few times, and then he gets shot 4 to 5 times in this, plus stabbed.
And he was on fire.
And he was on fire at one point.
And he's old.
And he's 70 years old if he's a day. But on top of that, so she takes his mask, which is his only kind of weakness or one of his motivations.
His William Shatner mask.
That's right. And
do you think William Shatner gets
a mask, a free mask?
Yeah, free mask when he goes to watch Halloween.
Would it fit him? I guess it would fit him perfectly.
No, his head's too big now. His head's gotten bigger.
You're right. It would fit a young 1970s William Shatner perfectly.
But what I'm saying is, do you think he gets money for likeness rights?
I think we've talked about this.
Yeah, we must. We probably did it last year.
I'll look it up. But so while I'm looking this up, why don't you explain it?
Which part?
How they trap him.
The mob.
Yeah.
The angry mob.
Yeah.
Well, they surround him.
Yep.
In a street.
Yep.
And they attack him with various implements.
And they go, "What up, bro? This is the wrong neighborhood. Don't you know we're going to beat you up?"
Yeah, evil dies tonight, baby.
Yeah.
And then they beat him up for a bit, and they shoot him a couple more times, and they hit him with baseball bats and stuff, and rakes and things, probably.
And they've got him down.
And then they just leave him.
Yeah.
For a bit, and then he gets up. And
well, no, the nurse comes forward.
Yes.
Or maybe this was earlier. I think it's this part. Mm-hmm. No, it's not the nurse. The nurse is in it earlier.
Yes.
So there's the nurse from the first movie. It's the same actor. Mm-hmm. And she comes up and goes to shoot him at one point. She goes, "This is for Dr. Loomis." Right?
Yeah.
And the only link that she had to Dr. Loomis was she happened to be the nurse that drove him that night.
That's
like,
right.
They weren't friends, it seems.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I looked up the Wikipedia of Dr. Loomis, and if you go again in that alternate timeline, then Dr. Loomis battles Michael Myers for decades.
Yes.
And maybe eventually, I think he's eventually killed by him or whatever. But in this one, he just dies at some point.
Yes.
So, like...
This is for wasting Dr. Loomis's time.
That night.
He did all kinds of theses and things on, and he never published a book on it. And the book publishers never paid him in advance for this book.
Yeah. And it's like, that only makes sense if all the other movies are in continuity.
Yeah, it's weird that
or you even said that Dr. Loomis was killed by Michael in the hospital or whatever. And maybe that's true. But like...
This movie wants to have its cake and eat its too. It wants to be like, we're in a new continuity, so new rules apply, but also you should be scared of Michael Myers because of all the previous movies that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
If there was a guy like in my neighborhood and 40 years ago he killed like 3 people, no one would care. And I don't mean...
I mean, they would care if he was here now.
Yeah, if he came back. But
they wouldn't be like...
He's been around forever.
Yeah, occasionally it would be mentioned, probably.
Totally.
But people wouldn't be like, we've been living in fear for decades because of the man who killed 3 people. Like, you're right, it wouldn't. That'd be like... Hey, it'd be the most interesting thing that ever happened in this town.
That's certainly true. Yeah. But there would be more curiosity behind it more than like, this is the shadow on this town that's got to bury us all and whatever. Dumb.
But speaking of dumb, so again they surround him, and they have got guns and what have you, and they beat him up. This man in his 60s or 70s, however old he is.
Yep.
And then they're like, we got him.
Yep.
And we still have these guns and bats and things. Should we kill him? Nah. Let's just leave him for a bit.
That guy was going to come up and he's like, this is because you killed my daughter, Michael Myers, the cop. And then he does a big murder.
Yes.
He does all the murders on everybody.
Right,
And Anthony Michael Hall's like,
yes, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have done this movie.
But then there's a bit where Judy Greer has like stabbed him in the back with a thing? Big thing.
I think he gets shot like 4 times.
What's the thing? What do you call the
umbrella?
Thing? Nope.
Knife.
No, bigger
Rake.
than that. Yeah, it's like a rake. It's big fork.
Like you get a hay bale.
Yeah, like a big hay bale fork.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed like a big hay bale.
Yeah, see that I can kind of be like, yeah, it probably missed some stuff or whatever.
Yeah, but then she doesn't get him again.
No, I know. She just leaves him. You go straight for the head. You just put it right through his head.
Because you know he's going to get up again. And you could go to the police and say, I thought he was reaching for a gun.
Yeah.
His signature gun. I thought he was reaching for his signature gun and he was in my house. He's in somebody's house.
Yeah.
And so I stabbed him through the head.
I think you'd get away with it.
But I think the what seems to be the reveal is, and maybe we'll see, maybe the magic or the science of it will be revealed in the next one, but it is that every time he kills somebody, he grows more powerful. So I guess
He's driven by a bloodlust.
They technically couldn't kill him, but I think you should try.
Yeah.
Like I think that if you want that to be, if you want it to be vaguely supernatural, I think they should have shot him in the head a couple of times, and then he just gets up again, and then we would go, it's the evil.
I think that's too far though, because I think, and I was reading an interview with the director, and he was saying that like he's not immortal, like he has limitations.
Okay.
But but he does borderline impossible things. But I think it goes over that.
Yeah, it really, absolutely does. Yeah. Like if you get a 60-year-old man, 70-year-old man, however old he is, I think he's 60
Sure.
because he was 18
maybe in the first one.
If you get a 60-year-old man and you like hit him in the back of the legs with a baseball bat,
Done.
he's not coming up again.
No.
Nobody is. He's probably got osteoporosis.
I mean, he doesn't run.
Do people still talk about osteoporosis?
Maybe. Not enough something. Magnesium.
Not enough something or too much of something.
Yeah.
But it makes all your bones brittle.
And, you know, he's strong and whatever, I guess.
What's he been doing? Leg lifts?
Some people are
in the
just
asylum?
strong. He's doing the Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the hummingbirds, where he's constantly like Ted singing.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He also subscribes to the Dennis system for picking up women. But like, you know.
William Shatner said this. So this is from Reddit. It's from PD Judd, who says, no, there's no agreement to use his likeness. It wasn't necessary since the company that made him already paid him in use for a general market item. So if you see a can of Coke in a movie, Coke isn't getting a percentage of the sales either, unless there was a marketing agreement. So he does not get paid.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
But he got to go to space.
He did.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is there's no way that guy's getting up. Like, I don't care how much rage you're fueled by.
Yeah.
You were a very old man who's been shot repeatedly.
What if he was like shot and he was on the ground and they left him, and then in the next movie you find out that he was hospitalized and they fixed him and then he got up again? Would that be? But then you don't get his revenge kills.
That's true. Maybe he's got an oven door under there.
I also
Maybe
don't-
Back to the Future 3 did.
Could have. And under his mask on both sides.
That's right. Yeah.
And anyway, he kills Judy Greer. But
Yeah.
I don't think he does. I think she's alive.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
We didn't see her head get twisted all around, did we?
No. And that's the mark of something.
Do you think that? How did she die?
He stabbed her.
She
She was
stabbed
at
her.
his window.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is my window.
Do you think that there'll be a last minute rescue at the start of the next one?
Yes. Well, actually, speaking
Jamie
of,
Lee Curtis will show up.
4-year time jump.
Oh, right, okay.
So by the time it comes out, which will be maybe next Halloween, maybe the
Yeah,
one
Avengers
after.
Endgaming it.
Let me check. Yes.
We cut to present day, and like the entire world is in flames. The entire world's been destroyed because he's done a intercontinental tour, and everybody's like, we shot him a bunch of times, but then we turned our backs, and he stood up and he killed everybody in the country.
Oh, here we go. Halloween ends.
Yes,
October 14th,
but
2022.
not really. Wink.
Wink.
Yeah.
Next year. That's good. Big fan. Big fan.
Halloween kills.
Also,
more
like-
James Halloween kills more like Halloween fills a bit of time.
You're not wrong. This guy's not wrong. Sometimes he just nails it. You know what I mean, everybody? I didn't even have to line it up. It's like
It's
he
true.
pre-lined it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it. It's incredible. Also, like, it
Yes.
feels like there is a disconnect between this and the previous movie because, like, what's her name? The main girl in this, Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter. Like, her dad was murdered. But when I started the movie, I went, hang on, all right. And I just watched a 5-minute YouTube recap.
Oh,
I'm
sure,
just
the
like,
last one, yeah.
who's dead? What happened? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where are those podcasters?
Yeah.
They're dead. They all got killed in a bathroom.
Killed in
I
the
think.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I like a lot of the ideas behind this guy.
Yeah.
But there needs to be, I feel, more consistency. And some of these holes can be plugged in the next one. But
Yes.
also, like, maybe just move it along, you know?
Yeah.
I don't need like a callback to be like, well, actually he's alive because they missed this vein and whatever, and I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or even like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's just bring back H2O.
Yeah. Yes. Just add water.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you excited for the next one?
Maybe.
How does he even get away? How is this man getting away?
Yeah, good question. Motorbike? Vespa. Is he on a Vespa?
Is he?
There's a deleted scene where he rented a Vespa?
He can drive a van, right?
Yes.
He did in the last one. Yeah.
We haven't even mentioned that like they kill that guy from the asylum, and it's just real brutal.
Which
Well, they
guy?
don't kill him, but he falls off the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's because
And
they get
they
in the-
unnecessarily cut to him.
No,
Like,
they.
ugh.
Yeah, his head is just a just an exploded pumpkin.
Yeah.
Which is very seasonal, it
I
turns
agree.
out.
Yeah,
anyway, should we move on to some other things?
Yes. Do we have anything else to say about Halloween Kills? No.
All filler, just filler.
Yeah.
Like that famous album.
Halloween filler.
Anyway, so we thought we'd bring some ideas of our own, some Halloween-themed treats.
And
for you all.
don't panic. We're not saying we're pitching our own spooky movies. We've just
Oh, yeah,
watched some
that's
other
what I've done.
Oh, then I have too. Thank God. Here we go.
All right, do you want to talk about the thing that we watched together and then some different things?
Yes, but
Okay.
not together.
No, we watched it separately, independently, but we both have thoughts.
Yes.
So we both watched, though I'd watched this a while back, and I didn't rewatch it.
Oh.
It's called The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Yes.
Jim Cummings, who is the police officer in the flashback, is the director and star of this. Do you want me to read out the synopsis?
He also did a movie called Thunder Road,
Which I haven't seen yet. That's good, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's a stressed out police officer struggles not to give in to the paranoia that grips his small mountain town as bodies turn up after each full moon. Basically, there's a big werewolf running around.
I mean, is it a wolf? Is it a man? Is it a werewolf man? What is it? We don't know.
Yep.
But there's just the full moon and people are being torn to shreds.
Yep.
In a way that seemingly suggests that it's somebody with a mind of a human.
Yeah.
But it's so savage that it's also like, but it must also be a wolf.
Am I finding fur and maybe?
Yeah. So what's the deal with this guy? Let's not spoil it. I don't think.
I don't think so. If you haven't seen it, you should.
But also, Jim Cummings plays a cop on the edge.
Yeah.
He's an alcoholic and he's got anger management
he's
issues.
just losing it, mate.
And it's a fine line because obviously you don't want to be like that. I love this dude.
Yeah.
He's a real Rick, He's a real Rick Sanchez.
He's
this
awful.
guy. But he's awful, but it's funny. Like
he's very good at it.
He's just bouncing between like just this manic rage and he's just kind of
and
like,
incompetence.
and he's screaming. It's very funny. Like he's a
Yeah.
and it's got Jim Cummings. It's got Ricky Lindholm.
Yep.
Who's very funny.
It's got Robert Forster.
That's his last role,
Yeah,
I think. before
yeah,
he
one
passed
of at
on,
least. Yeah.
Did you end up seeing Jackie Brown?
I've never seen Jackie Brown. No,
He's
I
in that,
should
he's
have.
good,
Yes, you did mention that. And he plays his father. And Robert Forster was obviously quite ill at the time.
Yes.
And you see that in the character.
But they've written it in.
They've written it in. So I think it works. I was going to say, works quite well. I mean, he was real life sick. So, like, not ideal, but they're a good pairing as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And he's got a daughter, doesn't he? He's got like an estranged daughter that.
Yeah, and he's sort of, and he is his dad is the
chief.
The chief, and so he's sort of the additional pressure of he's kind of like he's trying to look after his dad, but also he's trying to be the leader because his dad isn't quite up to it, but he's not up to it either, and people don't respect him. And
of a leader himself. Yeah, and
it's interesting. I don't necessarily like. I don't know if the horror comedy, like the scariness and the comedies, always kind of like balances out well. But I think it's a very good watch.
I really enjoyed the reveal as well.
Yeah.
So of what it ends up being, you know what I mean? And again, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good kind of twist on the kind of werewolf.
Would you say because I didn't see it coming necessarily? Were you like I know what the deal is?
Not really,
here.
no, I didn't.
But I wonder if we went back and rewatched it.
Yeah, it's definitely all there.
Yeah.
And again, not to spoil it, but there's a moment where there's like the reveal. It's like he figures it out, and I figured it out at the same time as him, and I'm like,
because it was on the screen.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, and it was like quite a cool reveal of like how they do it. I think he's great. I love that he's like making these kind of movies, and he's just like, I'm fucking in this as well.
Where did this guy come from? I think did he? Okay. So what it is? So Thunder Road is a remake.
It's a short
film that he made, and the short film is all meant to look like one take. Yes. Thunder Road is not like that, but it's
yeah. I'm gonna just check out what the other things that he's done. But
he looks like a guy.
He does look like a guy.
He's got a leading role kind of look.
Yeah. So what's Thunder Road about?
He's also a cop, I think. Wow. An army man.
Hang on, so I'm just checking.
Came out in 2018, so that's
So he's 34. This guy's killing it, mate. Look at this guy, making waves, making waves, mate.
He is. But he's also got that, like when I saw that this movie and it said directed by Jim Cummings. I'm like, is that the Dean from
Well,
Community?
there's a voice. No, that's Jim Rash.
Yes.
There's a voice actor called Jim Cummings as well.
I can't remember.
But yeah, he's been doing a bunch of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
What
Thunderbird
else? And then we
2016,
watched
yeah.
some stuff separately.
Yeah, so on top of that, I also watched the movie Don't Breathe or Don't Breath.
Yes.
Have you seen Don't Breath?
I haven't seen Don't Breath, but I know there's that and there's a sequel.
There is, which apparently
So when did
isn't
Don't
great.
Breathe come out? Like 2016?
2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, this is about some people that decide they're going to rob a house.
Yep.
And they're going to get away with it because the guy who owns the
He's
house
blind,
is blind.
and they're pretty sure he's got a certain amount of money.
Yeah,
but
right.
it turns out he's that psychopath from Avatar.
Yeah,
and he's
that's
blind,
right.
and he's very muscular. He's a bit old, but he's very muscular.
Yeah.
And then once they're in that house,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh no! Like this guy's blind."
Yeah.
If you know what it is, kind of. It reminded me of like Alien and Pitch Black.
Yeah,
he's
right.
he's like a movie monster in himself. This dude.
Yeah, right.
And so like, there's moments where he can walk breeze right past them and not hear them, and it's a bit inconsistent. I guess.
Right.
And it felt also like that game Alien Isolation, where you're in a cupboard and you're like, if I just be real quiet, maybe he won't.
Right. Maybe Don't Breathe.
Yeah. And there's moments where like they take their shoes off so they don't squeak the floorboards, but then he could smell their shoes because like bad feet and whatever.
Yeah, right.
And there's like things like that. So yeah, he's just like a mean, terrible person. And now they're in his domain, and maybe he's got some other mean, terrible things going on in his house.
Oh, I see, right.
But then apparently this like some irredeemable stuff, and apparently
Sure.
the sequel, which I wanted to squeeze in, but I didn't quite have time, like redeems him. And they make him more of
Oh,
like
I
an
see, right.
anti-hero, and it's like, not to spoil the things that happens in this one, but it's like there's not really any coming back from if you are this
Sure,
guy.
Right. Cheats on his taxes.
He cheats on his taxes, and I was like, God,
Not the
damn,
time.
Not
the time guy
Are
from
you a
Avatar.
billionaire? No. Are you
No.
getting government subsidies? No. Then you shouldn't cheat on your
You
taxes.
should pay more taxes than certain billionaires we won't name.
Yeah, but like, if you like Alien, it's
do.
kind of like Alien in a way.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
because they're blind also. And again, Pitch Black, same thing. Those creatures are also blind or something.
Well, speaking of trapped in a room,
Ooh,
I watched.
Escape Room.
No,
Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
I didn't watch either of those, but they did come up. But I watched Willy's Wonderland, which
Yeah, okay.
we've mentioned in passing on the podcast, but I hadn't seen it. I
What's
had the
that
choice. Sorry,
What's that on? Prime or something? I saw it pop up on
Stan.
something.
It's
okay,
on Stan.
cool.
But I had the choice because Nicolas Cage has done a sort of a trio of these sort of movies.
Yeah.
Well, not these sort of. He's in the last 3 years he did Mandy and he did Color Out of Space,
Which is the one where he's a parent and he wants to kill his kids or whatever?
that's Mandy.
That's Mandy? Okay, yeah.
And Color Out of Space is the H.P. Lovecraft one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is the newest one.
Yep.
And we have mentioned in the past. And I'm like, I've got to get into this. And
Hmm.
it is bizarre.
In a good way.
Yes. Well, here's the thing for people that don't know. The premise is he's a guy who shows up he shows up in this little town. He's driving his car through and he hits
Is
one
it
of
a
the,
Camaro?
It is a Camaro.
I knew it.
It's a brand. Well, here's the thing. It's a brand new Camaro. But here's the thing.
Where'd you get it?
There's the thing.
The Camaro shop.
Probably, but here's the thing. So he hits one of those police spike strips,
Okay.
and it blows out his tires, and they're like, the cops have left it out or whatever by accident. So he gets towed into town, and they're like,
Wait, did they really leave it out by accident?
James, I'm not going to tell you.
It feels like they don't.
But so he gets towed into town, and the guy at the car shop is like, okay, I can fix your tires. It's going to cost you $1,000. We don't take card, but you can work it off if you go and you clean up Willy's Wonderland, which is this sort of broken down, defunct family restaurant with all these animatronic animals in it. And
Does Nicolas Cage talk much?
he doesn't talk at all.
in the whole thing.
Doesn't say anything. Occasionally he's like, or whatever.
Yeah.
But he agrees to this by not saying anything. And then, of course, obviously the animatronics come to life, Five Nights at Freddy's style, and try to kill him while he's doing the cleaning. And also some kids, they want to burn down the Willy's Wonderland.
Because there's monsters in it.
Because there's monsters
Or
in it.
unrelated.
No, because there's monsters in it.
Okay.
Look, some spoil. Do you mind being spoiled for the
A
movie
little bit,
Willy's?
sure.
You do.
A little bit. I don't mind a little bit.
Oh, okay, right. So basically, yeah. So they go in.
Yeah.
They end up in the place. So there's all these teens in there, and Nicolas Cage, the janitor.
Yeah.
And it's just Nicolas Cage steamrolling these killer monsters that are killer animatronics that are killers for reasons I won't spoil, but everybody in the town just knows.
And they just, why do they do it? Is it like to satiate them, these creatures? Like, is it open during the day?
No.
Okay.
It's not open at all. It's closed down. But what's fascinating...
So they're feeding people to these creatures?
Yes.
But why? Is it revealed why?
Yeah, it is revealed why.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean...
Don't tell me.
Okay, I won't tell you. But it's fascinating because it's just... Again, it's just this kind of... None of it really makes any sense. And Nicolas Cage's character is fascinating because, again, the thing. I don't think it's a very good movie. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But I would watch 100 movies with this particular Nicolas Cage character in it. Because, again, he rolls up to this town. He's got this brand new car. He doesn't talk. Where'd he get the car? Like, did somebody give it to him? Is he secretly rich? Did he steal it? We don't know because he doesn't talk. And then he just shows up, and the guy's like, "Do you want to clean an old restaurant?" And he's just like, "Okay." And there's just all these scenes where he's just literally clean. He kills a monster, and then he just goes back to cleaning the restaurant. Like there's no.
So he doesn't think to himself, "Oh, this is a stitch up, mate."
No, he isn't like. Well, maybe he does, but he doesn't talk, so we don't know. But he doesn't like. It isn't like he kills one of the animatronics, and he's like, "Well, better gear up and kill the rest." He doesn't even seem particularly surprised that this place is filled with killer animatronics. And I would love to see more of these movies. And I like to think that on one side of America, Jack Reacher is going town to town, like righting wrongs and people, in
his charge or whatever.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, we've got nowhere else to turn, Jack Reacher," and he goes and he beats up the crime lord or whatever in the town. But on the other side, Nicolas Cage's janitor is just going from town to town, encountering just weird monsters and just beating them all up.
And then they meet in the middle.
They meet in the middle, or they fight, or they team up or something. I don't know. But it's just, it's wild.
Worth watching?
Yes.
Okay. Long?
And he
doesn't seem
I
like
think
it
it's
would
like
be.
90 minutes. But he doesn't even, like when the kids start getting killed, he doesn't seem to care at all. But then sometimes he'll just come in and fight an animatronic.
Yeah.
And he drinks he's got a little, like a watch on, and sometimes the alarm goes off and he just goes into another room, like in the middle of fighting an animatronic, and he's addicted to these like caffeinated Monster Energy drinks or whatever, and he just goes and he drinks one and he plays pinball, and then he comes back and he fights more animatronics. Who's this dude? What's going on with this guy? Is he a secret millionaire? Is he a vagrant?
Is he?
I don't know. He's wearing
What's his name?
He's wearing petrol station sunglasses.
What's his name?
We never say. We
Let
never
me
learn.
check. Let me check the cast
You'll
list.
never know. It's not. It says
What's his name? What's the movie called again? Sorry?
Willy's Wonderland. But
Yeah.
he's listed as the janitor in the credits.
He's only a janitor for that night.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I would watch 100 of these.
And
Just have
will
him. They don't even have to be supernatural.
Yeah.
Like he could just show up and there's some street toughs and he just beats them all up, and then that's the movie.
He's a wild man, mate.
Yeah.
I was going to say, wow, this made... Well, no, it didn't. I was going to make it made a lot of money. It didn't. It made $500,000.
It's not a lot of money.
No.
So
But
they'll
it
never do another one,
it
which is
also
a shame.
came out at a pretty... February of 2021.
Huh.
That's not a great time, actually, I guess. Cool. Well, I'll watch one more thing I want to talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
This one's called The Empty Man, directed by David Pryor. It stars James Badge Dale, who you might know as one of the Iron Man extremist guys from Iron Man 3.
The bald one?
Yeah, he's the one who he gets he wears the Iron Patriot armor and gets blasted through the chest.
yeah.
That dude. Anyway, I feel like a lot of these movies, it's like it's the spooky man, it's the boogity boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like whatever, and a thing turns
And then
up.
it's the spooky man versus the boogity boy
exactly.
in the sequel.
And they've all
Whoever wins, we lose. Is it going to be the boogity boy?
and it's like, it's this thing, and it's been around since whatever, and it's a guy, and maybe he's, it's like a Candyman knockoff or whatever,
Sure,
which I
yeah.
actually should have watched in hindsight. I should have watched that Candyman movie.
Nah.
But
Just
anyway,
'cause it's got that Oscar-nominated guy,
Yeah.
whatever, who cares?
but it's a bit better than that, and it didn't do very well. So
Nicolas Cage has won an Oscar.
that's
That's all I'm
true.
saying.
For what?
Living Las Vegas.
I haven't seen it. Is
Came
Robert
out a long
Forster
time
in
ago?
it?
I don't think so, no.
And I won't say it.
Okay, great.
So there's a cult kind of surrounding this entity, and it's
Okay.
one of those things where like you summon it, and then in 3 days it kills you and whatever.
Sure.
But they've built these people, this underground society, have built this whole religion around this entity.
Okay.
And trying to find out the secrets to kind of harnessing its power and worshipping this thing. In addition to it being this thing, if you do this thing, then it comes and kills you. So it's like an investigation, but there's the added layer of like decades of people trying to exploit this particular entity for their own gain. But I think the problem with this for some people, and I didn't mind it so much, is it's kind of a bit surreal and what's real and what's not.
Okay,
and
sure.
I think the ending is like quite ambiguous.
Okay.
And it gets a bit kind of like, I don't know if that all kind of adds up in a way.
Did you immediately go and watch the ending of this? Explained
I read a thing and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
You know what I do? Because I watched the Wolf of Snow something.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Snow
again?
Hollow.
Snow Hollow. I watched it on YouTube because you can buy through YouTube.
Yeah.
And when I finished watching it, I went back to the YouTube menu and I scrolled like a couple of thumbnails to the right, and there was a video that spoiled the ending in the thumbnail.
Oh my God.
And if I'd scrolled, to a couple of steps to the right before I watched it, I'd be like, oh, okay, I know how this ends.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's definitely a movie you want to go in not knowing. I wanted to watch also Werewolves Within or whatever it is.
What's that?
It's Josh Rubin. He used to do like college humor stuff. And it's basically that game, Werewolf or whatever. You know what I mean?
The social party game.
Except it's in like a house and it's one of them's a werewolf or whatever.
Interesting.
Werewolves Within. And it's interesting because he's said this a few times. He wants to do Darkman. He's like, give me Darkman.
Oh, really?
I want to do Darkman. And he could totally make a good Darkman movie, I feel. He's done a couple of movies and they've both been quite good, it seems. There you go.
There you go.
Anyway, that's all the spooky stuff I've been watching.
Yeah.
Claire and I also did a Halloween episode of Suggestible. If you're like, why should I vote for this show when I don't even know what it's about? Well, you can check it out.
That's right.
It's linked below. Collings, who edits this, if you could put it below, where we did a spooky episode last week. And what we do every Halloween is, by popular demand, Claire has to, and it's mostly me, Claire has to watch a bunch of spooky stuff.
She's been trying to do that
and
recently.
hates it.
Yeah.
But she landed on some things which she quite liked.
I can't remember what it was, but she mentioned something that was very, very light on the scale. She's like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, she's not equipped emotionally.
Sure.
But,
I think she's probably better equipped emotionally than either of us, which is why
that's probably
she
more
can't
likely.
watch any of these things.
Yeah.
She's not an awful robot.
That's right. Do you know what it's time for, though?
It's time for what we're reading.
Yeah.
What we're going to read.
I think that's actually the right thing to suggest that it's time for, Mason.
Yes.
Here we go. I'm doing the thing. Westworld.
Whoa. What have you been reading?
Mason, because we're doing it next week for the Book Club on Big Sandwich.
Oh, yes.
Our private subscription service.
Oh.
I reread Spider-Man Life Story.
I should get on that.
Oh, yeah, we got to record that this week.
Yeah.
We haven't done it yet.
I should do it.
It's very good and remains good. And what I also managed to do, there's 6 issues, but they released an annual, which is set within the universe, but it follows specifically J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes.
And it does a lot of the things that, like, for those people who don't know, it follows Spider-Man's life, but it's in real time.
Yes.
So he starts with his origin in the 60s and it goes up to the modern day, but in every era it touches upon, like, the major Marvel events.
All right.
So they'll do, like, the Clone Saga or whatever, but they do it in different ways. So it's not just... And this is the time when Ben Reilly and whatever, and this is how, like, the symbiote's different and whatever. So,
that's what the title card says. This is the time when Ben Reilly or whatever.
Yeah, but it's very good. And so that's what I've been watching. I've written here also as a note to you, Hot Ones, but in case we didn't get to it.
But we covered
luckily we covered
Hot
it.
Ones. Maybe we'll both
Up
watch
top.
Stoner Cats. Should we split an NFT?
Yeah, let's give...
$12.50 each, $1,250 each.
Did I say this on the show or not, that, like, you're giving them more money than money?
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't, but I'll bet you did, yeah. Because if the price of an NFT, if the price of Ethereum goes up...
Yeah, and the price of currency does obviously increase over time, but, I mean, it could also go down, like, probably not. Yeah.
Tell you what I've just started reading. It's an actual book, but never fear, because it's a book about comic books.
God.
I've started reading a book by Douglas Walk called All of the Marvels.
All of the Marvels?
So this man, Douglas... He read every Marvel comic book that's ever been published.
Is this the guy who had to do it for Marvel? Or was this a different guy? Oh, was that the DC guy? We talked about that.
That was the DC guy, yeah.
So this was just independent of anything?
Yeah, and it's a...
My God.
It's sort of an exploration of all the Marvel... Because there's 27,000 Marvel comics.
How long did he read this over?
I don't know. Just got started. But he's apparently... The book is sort of all about kind of mapping... Marvel comic storylines to the real world and being like, okay, what was happening in the real world that influenced what is happening in the comic books and stuff like that, and what what did Marvel influence other cultural icons and movies and things like that? It's pretty interesting.
Did he read the DC ones as well?
Yeah, just for a laugh.
Just for a laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would fry your brain.
I think there's 29,000 Marvel comics now, but
Too many.
I would imagine.
How much did he skim?
Yeah, probably heaps.
So did he get physical copies of these?
I don't think so. No,
You couldn't.
no.
Obviously.
There's no way. There's
Yeah.
no, unless they just delivered a truckload to his house.
Yeah, and I guess, but not everything's available digitally. But also, like most things are scanned now at this point. Aren't they?
Yeah, I would imagine he could. Yeah. But yeah, that's fascinating because I would imagine no one has ever done that. Like even if you're a Marvel collector, you might have them all.
Yeah.
But the odds of you having read them all are pretty slim, right?
I wouldn't. I mean, I guess his incentive was that he was writing this book.
That's true. Yeah.
How much is the book to buy?
I think it was like $35.
Did you get a physical copy
I did get a physical copy.
or an emotional copy?
Well, I feel like the emotional copy now lives in my house, in my heart,
your house, does
my
it?
house and my heart.
Have you got it in a special section of your house, this emotional copy?
My coffee table?
Yes.
Yes.
Terrific. Oh, that's really cool. I hadn't heard of that at all. When was it
Yeah.
published?
This
Last
year.
week?
No, recently.
Today.
I only heard about it recently. Yeah, it came out today. I only heard about it recently, but I think maybe it's been out for a few months.
Cool. All right, great.
Yeah.
Well, I have no complaints about any of that, Mason. You've
Wow.
done the right thing.
Thanks.
You going to finish it?
Yeah,
Great.
I say that now.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I know what you mean. Should we move to the next segment of the show, or do you want to do another
Yes.
thing that you've been doing and saying?
That's, I think, I also watched Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, yeah,
which
watch
I think,
that again.
Which I
and
think
I think is fine.
I think it's better than The Hateful Eight.
And I say probably.
Okay, great.
I
I'm
wa-
just saying bad people in a room. I think it's good.
I went to look for the Hateful Eight series.
Okay.
Because didn't they break it into parts for Netflix or something?
Somebody said
and
that.
it wasn't there, or they haven't done it yet.
Okay, right.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I just wanted to see how.
My dad works at Quentin Tarantino Productions, and he gave me a copy, and I think it's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
But you didn't like the movie.
Well, I think the series is better. Fleshes everything out.
What have we got? So we got the extended version. It did come out.
Get it? What's it on? HBO Max?
Oh
or
no,
something?
there's an extended version that's out, but there doesn't appear to be a. Maybe there's not. I don't know, man. Anyway,
I fixed the setting in my app that just auto plays everything.
you flick that switch. That's very obvious.
It's not
Did you?
obvious, James. You find it.
I have,
Great, good work.
but sometimes it switches by itself.
I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. And you don't sound proud. You sound vindictive. What's the next segment?
I'm really mad, actually.
What's the next segment
It's
of the
called
show?
Letters.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Classic one was
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
We're going to hear right now. We're going to do letters.
Did you hear when I said letters do it?
No.
In
I think you've come up with that after the fact. And you're like, look at me, I'm so clever. I would have saved it for next week and pretended you came up with it next week.
yeah, you've
You've ruined your chances here.
Well, maybe I'll
You
just do
absolutely blew this.
I'll just do it next week then.
Yeah, well, I will have forgotten by then. So
In April 29th.
also, you can edit this out, so it'll.
I won't, and Collins won't either.
He won't either, no,
If this
that's
is
true.
here, then he didn't.
Yeah.
In April 2019, the streaming service Netflix released an extended miniseries version of the film split into 4 episodes.
And it's still up?
I'm sure it wasn't there when I checked.
Huh.
Anyway, if you do want to reach the show,
Yes.
you can hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter or hit us up in a Gmail, weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
It's up on the Gmail.
Mason, have you got anything in the gmail.com
This
today?
is from Ben. He says, I'm graduating and you helped.
We didn't, but go on.
No, we did. Hi, James and Mason. I hope you guys are well. I've been listening since I was
Yes.
15.
Wow.
And I'm now finally graduating from Bournemouth University.
23, 22, 21?
All of those ages.
How long
He's
have we been
been
doing this for?
100 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So he's 115?
He's 115 years old, and I'm glad he's the oldest man in the world. And it's good to know that the oldest man in the world listens to this. I'm glad he's up to date on all the technology.
I agree.
I'm finally graduating from Bournemouth University with a first in media production on Monday. Just wanted to thank you for the great podcast, getting me through the ups and downs of uni.
Congratulations.
You guys really inspired me to get interested in audio and ended up being one of my primary focuses, so much so that my final graduate project was a pilot for a Justice League Dark audio drama.
Oh, cool.
I was wondering, with all the podcasts you listen to, do you ever listen to fictional narrative pods like The Sandman, for example?
I still haven't listened to the Sandman. I did do a bit of that Wolverine one.
Yeah, I like the Wolverine one.
And I did Batman, the one where he gets his back broken. I did that at one point.
Interesting.
And I quite like
Ow,
it.
he says.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's smart.
Could somebody...
And I'm not talking about Maxwell Smart.
Because that's a different continuity,
That's
maybe.
right,
That's a
yeah.
show I watch in my universe. Can I have an ice pack, please? Anyway, it was great. That
Yeah.
scene in particular, really moving.
Yeah.
It holds emotional weight for me, and I keep a special place for it on my coffee
That's
table.
cool.
That's great. Congratulations, man. You know what I was thinking the other day?
What's that?
I bet there's at least one person out there who has listened to this at some point who goes on to make something just incredible.
By coincidence.
Yeah, like for their own volition.
Yes.
Not because of us.
Yeah, correct.
But that would be so cool? Yeah. Anyway, like somebody who makes the person who remakes The Last Jedi. Listens to this.
Oh, yeah. Wonder what that's up to now. They've probably got like $1 billion
They must be
pledged.
filming that already, right?
Probably making that right.
I mean,
now,
the
yeah.
pandemic would have slowed it down, but now everything's kind of opened up again. I'd imagine it's white hot.
And the NFTs are involved now.
Yeah, that
I
after
bet you can buy an NFT for the Last Jedi remake. You get you get a little coin. They mint you a little coin, and it's got Luke Skywalker on it. He's got 2 lightsabers.
Yep.
And you turn. It's holographic, and you turn it, and he's swinging them. He's killing Sith lords with his lightsabers.
Also, it's not a physical coin. Oh, well, somebody has it, but it's not you. But you own the rights to that coin.
That's right. Yeah. You can't see it or touch it. Though.
This is from I watched them just like blow up in the next 50 years.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
they
will be rich except us.
But like, I don't want anything to do with it. This is from my watch stuff.
All right.
We all watch stuff though, don't we?
That's very true.
Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. Have you seen this year's long Halloween movies yet? They have the tone that's like a cross between the 90s animated series and HBO's Spawn with a depth and maturity I've been wanting in Batman animation for a long time. Huge, impressive surprise for me. I have been meaning to watch that because I'm a big fan of Long Halloween.
Yes.
And it looks good. And have you?
I have not watched it. No.
There you go.
There you go.
And it's on, I've seen it on
Yeah.
something and I went, ooh, we'll get to that, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'll give that a...
But speaking of Spawn, I've recently rewatched Spawn for a podcast that's not out yet. So.
You loved it, didn't you? It
sucks.
You said Spawn's my favorite movie. You said you didn't think it was your favorite movie. That's what you went into it. And then you came out and you went, yep, this is better than the Hateful Eight series.
I did say that actually, yeah. So that's true. Yeah. So I'll probably plug that next week, maybe.
Is it the I know that some of the special effects are quite startling in terms of how well they've held up, as in not at all.
Yeah.
But is there stuff in it? Is it because of that, or are there a lot of other factors?
There's so many other things. Also, here's a fun thing that I learned because I watched it on Amazon Prime with subtitles on because I often do that because I love to read, James. Is that some of the audio has been redubbed because it was a little bit offensive.
Oh, yeah.
But they haven't changed the subtitles. So sometimes you're watching the movie.
And sorry, you told me this stuff, but you can't say it here.
Yeah. And it's like you're a bit of a nincompoop or whatever. That's the audio, but then the subtitles are a little bit, a bit rude.
A bit rude.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating stuff.
There's also a moment in it where like Spawn's got his guns trained on the woman who killed him.
Yeah.
And she's like, you wouldn't have the guts. Why wouldn't he have the guts?
Back from the dead to
You
kill
killed him. You killed him.
Does he kill her? I can't remember.
Yeah, he shoots her right there.
Wow.
Turns out he did have the guts.
That's Spawn.
That's Spawn.
Sometimes he's no
That's
good.
so Spawn.
That movie I snuck into cinemas to see.
Whoa.
And I remember at the time thinking, I don't think this is good, I think.
And he's still there.
Yeah,
This is just a dream.
This is just the movie Spawn I've been watching.
That's right.
Just dovetailed into this.
Yep.
Ah,
Here's an email,
There we
James.
go. Yes.
This is from Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Hi, James and Nick. Don't know who that is. I'm a big fan of your show, slowly making my way through all the episodes in reverse order as I write this email.
Right.
My question is about rewatching movies. What movies do you think get better on a rewatch, and what do you find get worse? Personally, I found that Tenet has been better on a rewatch as it allows a better understanding of the story.
I have heard that.
Whereas while I do still like him, some of the more quippy films don't fare as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's talking about Marvel movies there.
Probably. Comedies don't hold up well, I feel, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the this is a classic comedy, and you watch it and you're like, this isn't much of anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because humor moves at such a clip, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I find often like a heist movie or a mystery movie holds up very well.
A good one.
But also, a good one. So like a Knives Out or something like that.
Yeah.
Because
You're looking at stuff.
You're looking at stuff, and you, like we mentioned earlier, you go back and you're like, oh, of course, when this happened, you could see a background character hiding the weapon or whatever.
Exactly.
It was right there. If they're done well, all the information was right there.
Yes.
And
And even like little reactions that people have, you're like, oh, that's interesting.
And every time I rewatch these, I'm like, one day I'll be able to notice this stuff on the first viewing, and I'll be able to figure out who the killer was.
Yeah, I mean, like, Yeah, I think you can do it through like deduction of just like eliminating.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I think there is something. One of the good things about movies like that is that you don't pick it up.
Yeah.
Because if you picked it up and then you watched it,
that's
you'd be
true,
like,
yeah.
This isn't,
Obviously, it's
this isn't
exactly.
very interesting. So I think it's so tricky.
And I think there is an incredible skill in, and it's like a magic trick, James.
Yeah.
But it's a misdirection of like a director can put the clue that solves the mystery in plain sight, but they're doing something else over here.
Yes.
And you're drawn to that.
That's right. A misdirect.
A misdirect.
A 3-card Monty.
Yes.
Very
I got one
good.
more email, James.
I love emails.
This is from Adam.
Hello, Adam.
Friends made representing the Weekly Planet at NY Comic Con.
Oh.
What's up, James and Meso? That's us.
We're here.
Went to New York Comic Con this past Sunday and had to represent the pod walking around in my Weekly Planet t-shirt.
Woo.
I was so excited just thinking about how sore my hand would be from all the high-fiving going on. After 3 hours of roaming the convention center, not one fellow gem grabber approached me to say I loved your shirt. The Weekly Planet is also my 6th favorite podcast. Then twist. Not long after taking the picture, you sent a picture.
Yeah.
I finally hear I love the Weekly Planet.
Yes.
I met D. He said his name is D. I asked how it's spelled, and he said just the one letter D.
Ooh.
Who told me him and his brothers are also huge fans. We immediately became best friends and just as fast parted ways, but not before getting this picture of us. And there's a couple of boys.
Look at these guys just hanging out.
They're cool dudes wearing their masks. They're wearing their shirts. I told Dee I was sending this story and the pics in for the letters segment. Would you please give Dee a shout out? And more importantly, can Dee please be the official New York Comic Con weekly wackadoo of the pod?
Oh, he's given it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that is
That's
bold and
noble.
brave.
Good luck coming out of lockdown and be safe. That's from
Thank you.
Adam, the official NYC dialogue coach of the pod.
My favourite part of lockdown is that I'm no longer getting comments being like, how's communist bloody China, mate?
Yeah.
Although I do
We
get
don't know, we don't live
occasional-
there.
Yeah, we don't actually know. I mean, probably bad.
Yeah,
reckon,
I would guess bad. But also, I love that people are meeting out. They're having a great time.
They're greeting.
They're meeting and greeting, and
They're feting.
and I'm loving that we have a listener who's just like, my name's just D, just the letter. That's very good. I like an eccentric listener.
That's all the information you
yeah,
get.
yeah. That's right.
Cool stuff. Thank you for repping us. You know what I mean? In the wild.
Yes,
It's from Mr. Melt. It says hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
I'm melting.
Help.
Help!
Oh no.
Ah.
I'm stuck to my keyboard. Hey guys, what are some movies or moments?
An ice cream of some sort. I'm a Buffalo Bill. I've melted. My little ice cream face.
My nose is not very good bubblegum. Is that
I'm
a
the
local
one
thing?
that was the pencil. Do you remember the pencil one? Had a chocolate
I
chip.
remember the pencil one.
Yeah.
Is Buffalo Bill a local thing?
Yes.
Must be, right?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
It's a dude. It's a cowboy ice cream. And his
Cowboy
nose-
ice cream.
And his nose is a
There would be cowboy ice creams all across the world, I would imagine.
there would be.
But only Australia has the Buffalo Bill.
a not very good ice cream that doesn't look like a cowboy.
And
Is the back chocolate?
yeah. And also, you gotta take the nose off, and you just carrying around
carrying around a nose.
carrying around a bubblegum nose
I was
while
just
you're
thinking
eating
about
ice
that.
cream.
You know what I'd do?
What's that?
And I don't think this child has the skill for this.
Yes.
You tuck it into the corner of your cheek. You know what I mean?
While you're eating the ice cream.
Yeah, man.
Insane.
No. Good.
Okay, it was also good. You're right.
Anyway, Mr. Melt says, help, I'm a Buffalo Bill. Okay, no. Hey, guys, what are some movies or moments where the supporting actor outshines the main actor? Example, Sly Stallone's role in Creed or J.K. Simmons in The Drum Teacher. Or Spider-Man, you could say.
Does Sly Stallone outperform?
Out Creed?
Out Creed?
He does that speech where he's like, don't even worry about it. I'm getting cancer. You better get out of here. Nobody loves anybody in the world. And my wife, she's dead, and you're dead to me as well. I got cancer. I'm not even going to live for it even for a moment. Don't even think about it.
I'm melting. I'm turning on ice cream. I'm Buffalo Bill.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. That was quite rude in hindsight. He looked up to me, and I think I let him down, actually.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, that's a
My
good...
back's made out of chocolate.
I've written a few here. I think often villains overshadow.
Yeah, because it's more fun to be a villain.
Totally.
Yeah.
You could look at like Darth Vader or even the Emperor.
The funnest characters there are.
It's not about being fun, Mason.
No, but I mean, it's not about being fun. But that being said, the Emperor in The Rise of Skywalker is having a lot of Ian McDiarmid.
Yes.
He's having so much fun.
The best time
He's like,
of
I've
his
got
life.
a million spaceships and all this lightning. Woo!
How many spaceships do you think I've got? It's a million. I've got a million.
I got a million, and you're a force dyad,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put my soul in your body. Woo!
I can imagine something. Like he's like, how many spaceships do you think I've got? And they're like, I don't know. It's a million! You can't even wait. Anyway, like Joker, you could go Heath Ledger's Joker or Jack Nicholson, or even Caesar Romero, you know what I mean?
People having fun on the Nolan.
Is it about fun, though?
No, yeah, no.
It's about
outstanding.
outshining.
Okay, yeah, okay, right. Okay.
Hannibal Lecter, I guess?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Jodie Foster's very good in that, and the other murderer is good in it.
Yeah.
What about Jason Statham in the movie Spy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes.
What about Alec Baldwin in You Better Get Those Leads or whatever? I'm
What are you even talking about?
I'm a salesman, and I've come in to give you a speech about
Oh,
coffee.
sure. Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but that one.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sure.
What about that one?
Okay, sure. I see
Yeah.
that.
Can you think of any other examples?
No. You've taken all the examples. You've taken the 5 or 6 examples that
Yeah, I
exist
have,
in the
haven't I?
world,
Yeah.
and you've done them, and I don't have anywhere to go.
Robert Forster, I think,
Yes?
showing up in things. Like, for example, El Camino.
Yeah, okay.
Cool scene.
That's
whatever.
true, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What's a movie where, like, someone turns up for, like, one scene? What about McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street?
oh, sure, okay, yeah, all right.
And he does the thing. Whatever.
What about bloody...
I just want to point out you haven't thought of a single one.
I can't think of anything.
I've done all of them, and some of them are off the top of my head. Some of them I've written down, obviously.
Like when somebody says name a song, you're like, I can't think of any songs.
You think of one song.
Yeah, Radiohead songs. I can
Which
think of
one?
all of
Which
them.
ones?
I can think of any Radiohead song.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you can't think of one?
Uh,
Because otherwise we're just going to have to move it along to the end of the show.
No, I'm going to think of one.
Can you think iconic villains? Can you think of comedic performances?
No, I can't
Who's your
think of-
favourite character in The Hangover? Is it Mike Tyson? There's another one for you.
No, it's not Mike Tyson. Why would it be Mike Tyson? It's bloody, what's his face? Dr.
Yeah.
Doctor-
The guy who's a doctor. And he was a
Yeah.
real life doctor.
Doctor-
And he jumps out of the boot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he just beats people up and he runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's it.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I named the movie,
yeah,
but all right.
yeah.
Here we go. It's the end of the show.
Scene stealing guys.
I mean, you
or
just-
girls. But I named Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah,
So
but I
think we're
named
even.
the scene.
How
How about I Google scene stealing?
Yes, and then read some out, and I'll agree or disagree.
All right.
I'll add color commentary.
I would love that, actually. That'd be really cool. The Joker's up there, obviously. They're saying Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Let's say Claw in Black Panther, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely, Yeah,
And that's it. It's just pictures of him again and again.
that's great.
Christian Bale in Terminator Salvation.
Nope.
Wouldn't you say?
No, I
There's
wouldn't
a
say
picture
that.
of him.
No one would say that.
Yeah.
No one would say that.
That'll do it, though. I
I
think
think so
that'll
too.
do it for the week, Mason.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. Hope everybody's doing all right out there. Hope they're having a ball.
Fred Willard in something.
Yes, in any Christopher Guest movie.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Another one that I got. Continue.
But that's because you're looking at all the famous people. I know you have an Excel spreadsheet that has pictures of every famous person.
That's
in it.
true.
So that's cheating in a lot of ways.
I think it's not, but go on. Steve Carell in Evan Almighty.
No.
Yeah, he does that blah, 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 blah thing.
Isn't he Evan in Evan Almighty?
Bruce Almighty.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
Bruce Almighty.
Well,
Sorry.
now I've named the movie, so I guess we're even.
I guess we are, but you know in your heart that's not true. What's next, Mason?
Folks, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling your friends.
Who you
Thank you
telling?
for lying to your friends to get them to listen. Thank you for meeting people at New York Comic Con. You know who you are.
Yes, D.
Thank you for leaving a 5-star review on whatever app that you happen to have. It really helps.
Got one right here, Mason. Got a couple right. This is from Danny Craggs, who says, great commentary, poor pasta. A great podcast for comic and gem enthusiasts, but the pasta leaves a lot to be desired. While Mr. Monday and Wes Bentley give great commentary about movies, comics, and TV shows, I'm still reeling from the absence of video game news and lack of cheese. From Danny Craggs. And this one's from Dave.
Did we talk about pasta a lot in a previous
It was in a
episode?
Sopranos when I'm reckoning in Sopranos, the pasta they're always
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
loving this pasta, and I'm like, that looks like shit.
What you should do is you should take when you're cooking the pasta, you take a little bit of the pasta water out, you put it aside, and then you take the pasta out, you drain the pasta, you put it back in.
How much pasta are you putting back? How much pasta water are you putting
Like
back
a
in?
quarter of a cup, maybe put that in and put the sauce in, and then you sort of.
It gives it a bit of like a. The meat probably wouldn't stick as much, would it?
That's exactly
Doesn't dry
right.
out your pasta.
Then you
You
give
give
it
it a swish.
Give it a swish. Give it a swish. Give one of your famous swish.
Swish.
Yeah.
Through
yeah.
a basketball
That's through a basketball
competition.
Hoop, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's from Dave 15 who says, has yet to form a fully fledged opinion about Radiohead. Seriously, no thoughts on OK Computer, and James calls himself a man in his late 30s. Sure, I never. It's true, I haven't. And I still continue to not know anything about
James,
Radiohead.
it's okay.
To what?
We make light of it, James.
But it's true, though.
We give you a little bit of ribbing about it.
Yeah, but
we
like-
say you're a fool, James. We're just kidding.
Yeah, but like it's also true. Like I don't know very much about Radiohead, you know? And that's, I guess, that's where the comedy lies.
That's very true.
In truth.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, please
Yeah.
continue while I check if there's any hot news.
Check, see if there's any Radiohead news also.
Oh, I really hope that the trailer for Jared Leto's Michael Morbius has dropped. I like the director of that.
Who was it again?
A guy.
Nice.
I've forgotten.
Terrific. Would you like it less if it was a girl, James?
Oh, yeah.
Great stuff, folks. If you want to get in contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, at Facebook, at Twitter, at Bandcamp. You can go to the weekly... you can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates
Here he
Facebook
is.
group. You can go to the Weekly Planet Pod Discord and subreddit.
Yes,
Get
yes,
in on
yes.
there. There's plenty there's just nice people all over there. They're having chats about podcasts. They're having chats about pop culture. They're having a great time. If you want to follow one of the best in the biz, Rob Collings. He edits this podcast. He does so much for the podcast.
He certainly
He's
does.
at Rob Collings on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter.
Where is he now, though?
Great question. I mean, currently, if he's listening to this, he's probably at a computer editing the audio.
At his house.
At his house.
Do you reckon he ever goes down to the local library?
Yeah, maybe.
It makes benefit of the free Wi-Fi. He makes benefit of that.
Not the books. Just the free Wi-Fi.
Just the free Wi-Fi.
Even though he probably has Wi-Fi in his house. We don't know.
Free Wi-Fi.
Oh, very
You
nice.
save it up. He's not using it.
That's very
Free
true,
Wi-Fi.
actually. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
sorry,
that's
go
true.
on.
Oh, wait, I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Yep.
And on Instagram, I'm Nick Maso, NSEKMASEAU. James is Mr. Sunday Movies. Everywhere. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can chuck in a buck. You can chuck in any amount you please or any amount you are comfortable with.
Which could be none.
Could be none. You don't have to.
That's fine.
But if you
Everything that is free remains free.
find a coin behind the couch, put it
Yes.
in the internet, squeeze it through a USB port into your computer, we'll get it.
Yeah, it is.
Or you can go to
isn't it?
bigsandwich.co, sign up for $9 dues per month, or some Ethereum. Just kidding, we don't take that. We don't understand how it works.
Well, look, if there was a plug-in, I'd do it, I guess. I don't know.
Terrific. And you get bonus podcasts and movie commentaries and all kinds of stuff.
Yes,
Every week there's a new thing. We're having a grand time over there.
we really are.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all the musical themes. T-shirts at tpublic.com. You just go to tpublic.com. You search for The Weekly Planet. There's official T-shirts. There's unofficial T-shirts.
It's easy as that.
Get one. Put it on.
Buy one, get one free.
That's not true.
Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes they have deals, probably.
Yeah, sometimes there's a deal.
We get half a cent for every shirt or something. I
Very
don't
true.
know.
Yeah, exactly right. But you get one, put it on yourself.
Yep.
Walk down the street. Somebody will be like, "I like your shirt." They'll say.
Yeah.
You could also do that with a regular shirt, I guess.
I mean, it's possible.
Just get a nice shirt, and
Have
somebody.
you
might
ever
be
gone
like,
up to somebody and say, nice shirt?
No.
Just like randomly. Like maybe you're next to them in or whatever, you'd maybe make
Yeah,
comment.
maybe. Yeah,
or at
sure.
a party. But
Yeah.
like, would you just cross the room to be like, hey, nice shirt, see you later?
Ooh.
It'd have to be a pretty good shirt.
It'd have to be a good shirt. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they'd have to be approachable and you'd have to be in a good mood. Have any of these things happened to you?
Simultaneously?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Sometimes not even individually. Good mood, me in a good mood. You had to have a full 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's the whole show. Next
our show.
week, Shang-Chi
Yep.
and The Eternals. We're
I've
talking
already
about both
seen.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're seeing both tomorrow, aren't
I'm seeing
you?
both
You
tomorrow.
are back to back in these MFs.
Yes, I'm gonna have 2 buckets of popcorn. I'm gonna have a regular bucket of popcorn at my local cinema. It's gonna be hot and buttery and delightful. And then we're gonna go to the media screening of The Eternals.
Yep.
And we're gonna get a cold popcorn.
Yep.
That's gonna be sitting on a seat when we get there. Maybe.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
And that's the show.
And just to be clear, that's we in exchange for that cold popcorn, we give it a glowing review.
Yeah,
that's
we
how,
do, yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a warm Coke, probably.
Often I don't even eat the popcorn, but
Wow.
I still give it a glowing review because it's just polite.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, who says Marvel doesn't pay their critics? They do.
Everyone says Marvel pays the critics.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
It is true. Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.